Welcome to Ascending Soul's Journey. This is Lorianne, your psychic here for Spiritual Connections. This is a show that I do every week at 4 p.m. on Thursdays, 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, where we look at different topics that each of you are interested in a spiritual concept. So many of us have questions about spirituality. We just don't know the answers. So I'm here to help all of you with my guides, with my angels, to answer a lot of your questions. The topic today is, are you a survivor of narcissistic abuse? Now, the reason I did this is there are many of you who reach out to me, send me emails. You guys know I get a lot of emails on a regular basis. So some of you have been asking about, hi everyone, welcome. You've been asking about how do I know when I've completed the journey as far as being in a soulmate journey. This is going to tie into that. So for the many of you who have sent those messages, this is going to help you with the answer. It's not going to be a definite positive answer, but it is definitely going to be along the line. Hi, welcome you guys. Nice to have you here. So the reason I'm tying soulmates into this is because a lot of the soulmate relationships are very toxic. The runner is the one who is emotionally shut down. They do not have empathy for the other soulmate. Now, in the beginning, when you first meet, it's amazing. You guys get along. You feel like you've known them forever, and they feel like they've known you forever also, even though they don't share that. They know there's a connection. They can feel it. It's different. It's a different vibration. Those of you in that journey, you know what I'm talking about. Now, what is a narcissist? I'm going to take a look at that first, and then we're going to see where you're at as far as being a survivor of it. So we could go on for hours and hours about narcissistic abuse, about what a narcissist truly is and the types of things that they do. But just overall in general, for those of you that aren't even sure if that's what you were dealing with, we're going to take a look at this. And this could be on any level of your life. You could be working for a boss that's a narcissist. You can have your parents, a best friend, a coworker, anybody can be in your life in a relationship capacity, and they can be a narcissist. You yourself can be a narcissist, and so can your children. So a narcissist is truly a master manipulator. They're exceedingly good with emotional manipulation. They lack empathy, meaning they do not care if another person is hurt. They move forward. That's not always their goal, but usually it is. That's what reels them, you into them. They're grandiose. They're very, I want to call it flowery, but that's not exactly the right word, is it? They very much feel a sense of entitlement, that everything should be about them. Focus on me, and they will hurt somebody to direct the focus back on them. Now, some of you know we do live in a narcissistic society, and there is a big difference between a true narcissist and a true abuse of one versus the person that says, hey, I want chicken for dinner. I want chicken for dinner. That's not a narcissist. It may be a characteristic, a little trait, a little something in association with, but that does not make that person a narcissist. These definitions do. So the ones I've already shared, plus they like to associate with people that they think they're really cool, okay? They want to be around people that they believe are on the same page as they are. Those of you in the soulmate journey, they may have actually looked at you, hi Jasmine, where they looked at you and you could tell by the look on their face that maybe they were looking down at you. Maybe they even expressed it to you. For those of you not with a soulmate, you definitely know what I'm talking about. Absolutely know what I'm talking about. They're very conscious and aware of how other people view them, how other people think about them, because they want to look good all the time. They will pick the person on their arm that looks the best with them. Doesn't matter if they have a brain. That's not what they're interested in. Actually, a narcissist, the abuse that they give, if you do have a brain, they're going to try, and the gaslighting, they're going to try and reduce the intelligence that you believe you have. They're going to make you feel as though you have none. They're very superficial, very superficial. Some of them are materialistic because it is all about ego, right? It's all about ego. It's all about, hey, I don't want you getting, if you're in a party and you're with a narcissist and you're laughing, sharing it with their friends, and they are not in it, they're going to get very upset with you because they want that attention on them. Those of you who've been with a narcissist, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They love to humiliate other people. So when we go through this whole process and discover that our partner, our boss, our mom, our dad, anybody in our life, that we start attracting these narcissistic characteristic people into our lives, we need to take a moment and look at us and say, hey, okay, what's going on? You need to leave that situation. It can take months, it can take years for somebody to rebuild themselves after being in a narcissistic, abusive relationship. You go through a lot of denial. You do. You miss, even though they humiliate you, even though there's the cognitive dissonance between you, you begin to self-sabotage yourself. You begin to see yourself in the way that your narcissistic abuser has told you you are worthless. You're nothing. You have no value, is how we feel within, right? How do we know when we get out of it? After we get through that period of missing them, of missing the push-pull that happens between the two people, we start looking at us and we start seeing a little spark of hope. And that little spark of hope, it grows and it grows. And as long as you continue to work on you, you will recover this, okay? You will. One of the first signs that you are a survivor, that you are going in a totally different direction, is self-care. That's self-love. The class that I'm offering tomorrow, self-love. This is how you understand taking care of you, not just your mind, but your body, your emotional sense, your spiritual sense, everything about you. You start to take care of it. You start to feel better, eat better, ingesting foods and drinks that actually help your body, help your mind in all different ways. You look at becoming balanced again, because when we're in that type of any kind of abusive relationship, we get out of balance, right? So we need to put ourselves back into balance. We begin to, number 2, recognize that we used to allow people to dump on us. We used to allow people to take. We don't do that anymore. We are careful and cautious about who we give to. That doesn't mean we are emotionally shut down. No, it means we are using our logic in combined with our emotions to be able to give to the right people instead of people like the narcissist, okay? So you will see that will start to improve as you go along. It'll get better and better and better. Not so much in the beginning, you might give too much, but it will progress as you continue to work on you. You'll no longer care about how your ex feels. You will no longer care about what your ex-partner is doing or who they're doing it with. You just won't care anymore. This is it's your decision and your choice, but you will not want to ever think about it again. You've healed. good riddance. God be with you. You go live your life. Okay. Number 4, you begin to review other relationships around you, because typically if we've attracted a narcissist to us, if we're drawing them into us, we're most likely drawing them in different areas of our life. So for those of you who have been with a romantic partner where they were a narcissist, look at your boss, look at your best friend, look at all your friends, look at your family. Where did it originate from? Okay, you want to look for the root, because that's somebody you want to get rid of. The person who taught you to allow somebody to humiliate and degrade you. Okay. Number 5, you become more concerned with your life and what you're doing. Again, no longer thinking about your ex, how you're going to embarrass them or humiliate them, whether you have children or not. You're going to, you're going to focus on you. You're going to go forward, okay? And not look back and not regret leaving. Number 6, you're going to focus on fixing your problems in your life. Like I said, it's rebuilding you. And you may have heard me use the example when the military in the United States brings in a person, you know, that high school football star that can, you know, lead the game and win the game. They're the hero. Well, when the military, when you go into the military, they can't have that. It has to be team unity, camaraderie. They have to literally take that football star, strip them down, and rebuild them. That's exactly what you need to do. So all the old programming that you had, the belief systems of relationships, of how you should treat a partner regardless of how they treat you, how you should be here and they up here. All of this is going to be gone. When you leave them, it's gone. After you come out of that phase of missing them, which won't be long for most, you will begin to rebuild your life. You will rebuild you, your internal foundation. You will let go of feeling that sense of being a victim, being helpless, trying to figure out how to act or react. Okay, you're going to know exactly what to do. As you work on you, you regain your inner confidence and you regain your inner personal power. Each and every one of you have personal power within you. Are you using your personal power to help you in your life? That does not mean stepping on other people. That means you know who you are, what you want, and what direction you want to go. That's personal power. When you can overcome the fear of the threats that the narcissistic abuser has stated to you, and they do threaten you, they follow you. They'll have people follow you to find out where you live, where you're working, what you're doing, who you are in a relationship with. And you will refuse gifts from the narcissist after you've gone, and they want you back to feed their ego. They want you in their life. And it's almost like throwing a temper tantrum, as far as I'm concerned, based on my own experience. Throw a temper tantrum, I want you back, I want you back. They'll manipulate you, and then they'll start buying you gifts, and they start giving you gift after gift after gift. Flowers, candy, refusing the gifts. Return to sender on anything that is sent to you. Refuse the flowers, anything. You don't want anything to do with them. You have to go non-contact when you are not in communication with them regarding you and them in a relationship. This has not the children. You can still communicate with the kids if needed. Most of you will try to do whatever you can to avoid talking to them at all, because they knock you out of balance until you are strong, rebuilt, and on your feet. And then it doesn't matter what they say. You won't care what they say. It won't make a difference. And number 7, you will fight with everything you have to protect your newfound freedom. And that is huge. Your new life that you've rebuilt on your own, you will protect it. And I don't mean that you're physically going to hurt anybody, but you will be careful about who you bring into your world. And the narcissistic abuser is somebody you will not want to bring into your world. You'll stop looking at your experience as a form of punishment, because that is part of the technique that a narcissistic abuser uses. And you will look at it more as a lesson. This is my lesson. This is the people that I don't want into my life. This is what I no longer have in my life. You will look at no longer needing approval to make a decision. You see, we are primed to be with them, and they make us believe that we can't make a decision on our own. We can't live on our own. We can't go out in the world. We're going to fail. We're going to fall flat on our face, right? My first husband did that to me. He said, "You're going to be back. You will be back. You're going to fall on your face." I didn't come back. I did not come back. And I rebuilt me. Okay. Now, you will also understand that there are others out there, and you will become very knowledgeable about all types of narcissistic people in the world, okay? And I'm talking true narcissistic people. You will not want them anywhere near you. And if you need to be around them, if it is somebody that you work with, you're going to learn how to handle them. When you are confident, when you have rebuilt you, when you are moving forward, and you no longer care about what that narcissistic or any abuser thinks of you, wants from you moving forward, that's when you know you're a survivor of not only narcissistic abuse, but abuse on all levels. So, and I know we could talk for hours and hours, and I do see that many of you have asked questions and thrown that up, but I haven't looked at it because I didn't want to lose track of what I was talking about. So that is the topic today. Those of you who have been asking, how do I know when I have overcome this? How do I know when I've healed? How do I know when I have grown on a spiritual level as well as physical, emotional, in all areas of your life? This is a very good indication. This absolutely is about you trusting your own judgment, you understanding you, and self-love. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at a couple of questions that you guys have sent in, and then I will look at the questions on the screen. And don't forget, please only put 1-2 lines on there. I can't, if it's like 6 lines, I can't read it all because of the device I use is small. So yeah, one of the people sent in a question, and I thought this was really interesting, and I was going to answer it, and I was like, no, I really want to answer this live. So I hope they don't mind. I didn't ask to use their name, so I'm not going to. Their question is that they have been seeing all of the angels and, you know, the videos, the photos of angels in the sky, of angels in the dirt, all these things that are going on. Angels standing next to people where you can see it on camera. Those of you know what I do, right? And if you remember, you've seen angels popping back and forth on some of my videos, okay? So they do exist, and that's why they did that for you. I'm going to ask them to come in again soon, hopefully this next month. But their question is, are the videos, photographs being shown with angels, are they real? Some of them are real, and some of them have been manipulated. But are they really out there? Are they really showing themselves to all of us on earth? And the answer is yes, they really are. Yes, some of these videos, some of these photos you're seeing are absolutely 100% real, okay? They are here to fight a war that is going on. It is a spiritual war, good versus evil. They're letting each and every one of us know it is time. It is time for us to align and be on track with who we are really meant to be, the essence of our soul. That's who we're meant to be. It doesn't matter what incarnation of lifetime you're in. It matters that you are in alignment with who you really meant to be, walking that path, okay? So I hope that that helps answer that question. And the next one, I felt very almost emotional about this question because it was very touching to me. So their question is, if God is real and loves us, why does God allow us to be abused by other people? Are we supposed to endure such deep pain for God? No. The answer is that each of us come down here, we incarnate in this lifetime for specific reasons, for specific lessons. Those of you in the soulmate journey, it is because you are off your path. So you need to get back on. And sometimes we get led astray by that socialized belief system, believing other people when they tell you this. When we get off track, that's when we're back in alignment. But off track is when the negative stuff happens to us. When we're actually on our true path, what we're meant to do in life, what we're meant to do in this incarnation, and on our spiritual path, we don't have the abuse going on. Because again, we are in alignment. We know who we are when we are in touch with the inner self, our higher self, okay? So I do hope that that helps with that one. God does not want us to endure pain unless it is part of our lesson, all right? How do I know what to do to put me first? That's a really good question. I thought it would tie in very, very well with this topic. How do I know what to do to put me first? That's called self-love and self-nurturing. First and foremost, putting you first. Not in a narcissistic way. You don't hurt people. We don't have to hurt people to put ourselves first. So for those of you who are interested in learning about how you put yourself first, what self-love is, please send me an email and join in the class tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And I will go over all of this with you. It's a really good question. And many of you, especially those of you who have gone through any type of abuse, doesn't matter if it was a narcissist, physical abuse, sexual abuse, it doesn't matter. We've been degraded, we've been escalated backwards, downwards, repressed. So we may not have even grown up in an environment where we were taught what self-love is. We may have grown up in an environment where it was give. You don't deserve to take, you just give. Therefore, we never learn what self-love is. So if you're interested, please send an email to ascendingsoulsjourney@gmail.com. The next question. My dog keeps barking at a certain spot in my home. Oh, by the way, the puppy I showed last week, he's so adorable. He got a brand new home with a 6-year-old little girl and 5 acres to run on. So I'm very happy that we were able to help save him so that he didn't wind up in a bad place. I just wanted to let you guys know because some of you actually got to see him. He was adorable. He was a monster, but he was adorable. So their questioning is, my dog keeps barking at a certain spot in my home, but nothing is there. Every time I go to look, there's nothing there. I can't see anything. Sometimes his hair stands up along the back of his neck and down his body. Is he really seeing something that I cannot see? Most likely, the answer is yes. Most likely, he is seeing, if they're barking and the hair is on their back, they are seeing something in a negative capacity. They can see them and we can't. Dogs have a different type of vision, and cats, all animals do. They have exceedingly good nighttime vision, meaning it's like putting on those nighttime goggles that they use in movies and videos, and where you can see in the dark. They can see in the dark. So they can also see the dark. And if their hair is standing up on their back and they're barking, it is a negative entity. Doesn't matter if it's a ghost, a spirit, it doesn't matter. It's something that is of a negative presence there, and we visually can't see it. Now, if you want to see it, which I'm not even going to tell you. You don't want to see it. You don't want to see them. They don't look, they'll scare you. They don't look like what you think. So the answer to that is, I would say yes. If it's a ghost that is not a poltergeist, but a ghost that is not negative, they will not bark. They will not do anything. They may look, but that's it. You know, they'll leave them alone. If it's an angel, they don't look, they don't bark, they don't do any of that. If it's positive, they will not bark. They will not have hair stand up on their back. And the last question is, oh, okay. How do I know what my spiritual gifts are? I get this question quite a bit. Now, most of you can feel energy. When you walk in a room, you can feel it. We all have gifts, and each of us have a multitude of gifts to bring into each lifetime. Those gifts are given to you to help you survive, to help you prosper in life on every level. Sometimes those gifts are used to for you to help other people as well. So you may be really in touch with your intuition and have a really good insight, but you definitely can feel the energy. So for most of you, you have one or both of those for sure. And the rest we would have to look at specifically. So I can't answer that unless I'm actually working with that particular person. So I hope that this helps answer some of those questions that you guys have asked. And if you'd like to ask questions now, you survived. Okay, good. Well, I hope you do. I do. A lot of us, when we deal with abusive people, we could wind up losing absolutely everything. Our entire life can flip upside down. Sometimes the abuser can even help us lose our job, get demoted, moving into different departments, but less money than what we're used to. Okay, Richard, why would you abuse yourself? If you want to answer that, and hopefully I see it. What if I abuse myself? Well, take a look at that. Why are you abusing yourself? Too many thoughts. I'm assuming those are negative thoughts. Richard, you don't want to do that, okay? I would recommend that you book a session with me and we can look at it a little bit clearer and see what's going on with you and see if I can help you. If I can't, I know I can recommend help for you. Hello, Brazil. Your husband made you quit your job. Well, was it out of abuse, or was it because you needed, for some other reason? Richard, redirect your thinking for now until you can book a session with me, okay? ascendingsoulsjourney@gmail.com. So I know I don't see your name, B. I know pretty much everything about narcissism, forward and backwards. Yes, I lived it my entire life. I know all different types of narcissists. Absolutely. Yeah, so. All right, you guys. Anybody else have any questions? Okay, Teresa asked me, that's a really good question. What are the first steps of I might have forgot it, but it looked like, what are the first steps of getting away from narcissistic abuse if you're living with a narcissist. Now, you may not have heard the very beginning, but the first thing you need to do, it doesn't matter who the narcissist is, mom, dad, husband, doesn't matter. You need to move on. You need to get out in a safe way, okay? In a safe way. Hopefully you still have friends, a friend or a family member that can help you. There are shelters, there are facilities, there are actually groups that can help you get away from the narcissist and protect you and keep you safe when you leave them. You can try, oh, I don't know what that was, so it didn't sound like that was for me. Okay, well, Michael said the best way when you see abusive, but I don't think you understand, Michael, what a narcissist does. They emotionally manipulate you to where you don't recognize that you're being abused. And some of them outright do it, and some of them do it in a really nice way where it kind of sneaks up on you. It depends on what type of a narcissist you're thinking about. How do I stop thinking about, I'm so sorry, I didn't see the rest. Okay, what if a friend confides in you regarding abuse that they're going through? I hope that you can help them. I will tell you, when I left my younger kid's dad, now he was actually possessed, literally possessed, and I saw the demon, and it was a big, mean black bitch with red eyes, and she was standing above him, half in and half out of him. None of my friends or family would help me because, see, when you deal with a narcissist, they want you to eliminate friends and family. But again, you can help them. You can help them find a shelter. You can help them find somewhere to stay. Okay, that way you're safe from the narcissist if you're fearing abuse on you, and you are able to help your friend. So I do hope that you help them. Is Soul Journey Narcissist's lesson exists? In Soul Journey Narcissist, yes, and that's what I talked about in the beginning of the show. So you can go back and look at that a little bit, a little more, because I did touch on that. I already did, I don't know how to pronounce your name, Brongama. I already did talk about that in the beginning of the show. Are atheists narcissists? I would imagine some are and some aren't. I will tell each and every one of you the most recent statistics that I heard. 1 out of every 100 people you meet are a narcissist. 1 out of every 100. How many hundreds of people are in the grocery store or Walmart when you're in there, right? So they're all around, and it's up to you to become aware of what a true narcissist is. And again, it's not that person that says, I want chicken. Okay, they just want chicken that night. That doesn't mean that they are a narcissist. So do the research. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is what empowers us to stay in alignment with who we are, to understand what type of people we're dealing with, what type of situation, including your work environment. Those of you that feel energy, you can walk into a job interview and you can feel the energy. You can look at people sitting there working. Do they do this? I've seen that, where they're like looking up like they're not allowed to look up. I guarantee you, the person in charge of a company like that, where nobody's allowed to look up, whoever is running that group or that company most likely is a narcissist. And they are telling them, you work, 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 work. We're not back in the 1700s, we're in the 21st century now. Best way to get a I didn't read it all, sorry. If you want to put it up again, that's awesome. You guys have had some really good questions, and I know I did miss a lot of them. They go up kind of quick. Is a narcissist based on fear and past abuse of childhood? Not always. Not always is it come from that. Oftentimes, yes. Personally, mine did come from that. but not always, no. Narcissism is a taught behavior. Somebody has taught that person to be that way. Sometimes when people go through exceedingly painful relationships, everybody I love leaves me, so they completely close down. Those of you who have had readings, you know what I'm talking about. The Four of Pentacles, closed off, ain't gonna open up. That's a sign of a narcissist. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate you, and thank you for being on this show. Oh, thank you. Have a good night. Okay, you guys, I am going to go ahead. Are narcissists not intelligent? That's not true. I've met narcissists that are absolutely intelligent. My mom's one of the most intelligent people I've ever met. The soulmate that put me into my particular journey, highly intelligent. But here's the thing. Narcissists do not believe they are intelligent. Everything is ego-flated to overcome their lack of self-confidence, okay? So I hope this helped you guys. The soulmate journey is going to be posted tonight for those of you interested for the week, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Please, those of you interested in self-love, class is tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And I would love for you to join us. I have a good group of people, but the more the merrier, right? You will need to send a message to ascendingsoulsjourney@gmail.com. Those of you who are interested in finding out what your gifts are, Psychic Development 1 class is Saturday. This Saturday, the 20th at 2:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and you can send me an email for that as well, ascendingsoulsjourney@gmail.com. Have a wonderful evening, you guys. Love you. Bye.